Hi guys, today I want to cover a subject that most cichlid lovers will probably fall upon. It's called Malawi Bloat. The first thing I want to say about that is that Malawi Bloat does not just affect fish from Malawi, it affects all the cichlids of Africa. And I know it from experience now because my Tanganyikan tank got it. This one is fine actually, but except for maybe one jewel cichlid. So now I know that river cichlids are also affected. So basically, Malawi, Tanganyika, Lake Victoria, and river cichlids, such as jewel cichlids, are prone to getting the Malawi bloat. Especially herbivores like trophies, mbunas, anything that eats a lot of green matter is prone to getting Malawi bloat. But in my tanks, it happened that it was carnivorous fish such as Frontosa tagare. I don't know if it's gonna happen like to everybody, but from what I've learned with the carnivorous fish that did get the bloat, it was mostly the adults that got it. My babies, I was like, why don't they get it? Why is the big, strong fish getting it? According to me, I think it's because the smaller fish, the younger fish, have like a faster metabolism to digest it, get rid of it. But the bigger ones, if they eat too much or whatever, they just get bloated. So I'm going to cover those three causes that causes bloat. That would be stress, inadequate aquarium salt. So not the buffer, like just regular table salt will not be good for them. And overfeeding. In my case, well, I guess it was overfeeding. Not for me, but somebody else was feeding them all the time. And then I was hit by the problem. I didn't know where it came from. So I'm just going to show you my fish in the meantime. So yeah, I'm going to cover the first sign of Malawi bloat. And that would be a fish that's not eating and being reclusive, hanging out at the bottom, at the top, being by itself all the time. That's the first sign. Don't be like extremely alarmed when you see it. Some cures will, help it right away. But yeah, as a first sign, you should take care of it right away. The second, more important signs at that stage is really critical that you take care of the problem. The fish would appear bloated, its anus would stick out, it would have like a big lump under the stomach. Well, I mean, you'll see it. You'll see it, definitely. And the third sign, like real third degree of the sickness, that would be heavy breathing, loss of color. I mean, at that stage, from my experience, they're close to death. And the last one would be sores, like, under the belly when it was like ballooning, then it peels off, it's looking like it's rotten, it's internal infection, like the liver, the kidneys are all just giving up. So at that stage of, I don't know if your treatments are going to work, but I can assure you the fish is about to die. Because the ones that died, they came to that stage and there was no return. Even one that was stuck in my tank only had heavy breathing, loss of color, no other signs, died right away after. So make sure you catch them in the first time. Alright, so when you have your first sign, which is not eating and being seclusive and not pooping either, then come on, we're gonna go to my little table here where I set up everything. You're gonna get at the drugstore some, now it's in French, I'm gonna turn it around. You're gonna get some Epsom Salt. It's magnesium sulfate USB. Basically, it's a laxative formula. It's like a salt that would just help them poop it out, help them with that, get them bloated. So you can find that in the drugstore really cheap, like I think this one was like $5. And what you do is you put 1 tablespoon per 10 gallons of water. Make sure that you put the right amount because sometimes, you have like, let's say, a 20-gallon tank, but maybe you have so much rocks and decorations in there, it ends up being a 15 or a 10 gallon of actual water. So make sure you don't overdose it. Just calculate, well, visually, I don't know how you're going to do it, but just make sure you don't put more than the water volume that you have. Okay, I mean, it's not going to kill them at all. It's not like anything dangerous, just, you know, so you know how much, and it's going to apply to the other medications I'm going to cover in just a minute. So yeah, the first cure you should do is the Epsom salt, 1 tablespoon per 10 gallons. Add some sea salt. Also, it's really good if they have like any infection, any sores. Like, put the same amount, 1 tablespoon per 10 gallon. And yeah, both are very cheap, all right? And at the same time, stop feeding your fish. Just really stop feeding. If you want them to unbloat, don't feed them more, because then you're just gonna get stuck even more inside. All right, so if they're at the second stage of the disease, or if you just want to make sure they don't get to that stage, you get those two medications right here. Where I live, it was really hard for me to find these two. This one is Cloud by Mardell, and this one is of, what's the actual name? Metro. Hold on, I gotta read it. General cure. Anyways, it contains there you go. That's what you gotta look for. Metro. Hold on, I'm trying to zoom in. Metronidazole. That's what you gotta look for as the active ingredient. Anyways, from the company API, General Cure for Parasites, Internal Parasites. Just look for this package, alright? My camera's like going crazy here. Let me just put it a little bit away. Alright, so these two, you use it right away. You do a 25 to 50% water change, depends how dirty water is, but really 25 being at the minimum, at best 50%, and remove the active carbon inside your filters, all right? Some filters, you won't see the actual carbon that you put. Some filters like the FX6, I have an FX6, FX5, they have carbon pads. It doesn't look like carbon, but it's still a carbon pad. So you remove this one, because the carbon, it will just remove all the medication, so it's pretty useless. Follow the instructions on both these treatments. This one, I think you put the treatment, you wait 1 day, you put the treatment, you do that 3 times, and then after the treatment is done, you remove 25% of the water, add fresh water, add your conditioner, and that's it. Your fish should be good. So let me just look at my notes here. Alright, so during the process of these treatments, do not feed your fish anything, like really anything. I know you'll be tempted. Don't feed them. Just one thing I forgot. When you use this one, don't turn on the lights, because the UV light, it negatives the treatment. So don't turn on the lights. With this one too, keep the lights off. I know if you have plants like I do, it's going to be hard, but whatever. Lose the little plants if you don't want to lose the fish. But I don't think your plants will die anyways. Yes. You could treat one fish if it's really sick separately, but I suggest treating the whole tank. Because the thing that happens is, if one fish got it, it poops. Another fish picks up the poop in its mouth. Even though it doesn't eat it, it catches the bacteria. Alright, so treat the whole tank, and you know, they'll be better this way. If your fish have any sores, like mine had like a bloated stomach and their anus came out and it was really nasty, but anyways, use Malafix or this thing that my friend that owns a specialized cichlid, African cichlid store. He gave me this. It's 100% natural expellant for parasites, but it also helps them heal. Alright, and Malafix, yes, I don't have the Malafix here on this table right now, I have it downstairs, but you use Malafix to help them, you know, recover from the sores, whatever they have externally. So, yeah, put, that says 2 caps every day, so I use it for the duration of the treatment, but I'll probably go through all this bottle during my treatment, because the tank I'm treating right now, is this one, it's my 300 gallon. It's really huge. They're not sick, but since I had it in my 200, I didn't want to take any risk contaminating them. So After the treatment, all right, your treatment is done, you're ready to feed your fish again. But avoid feeding them with anything that has a high amount of proteins in that. Okay, if you have carnivorous fish, I suggest giving them some of that and spirulina-based foods, especially spirulina. Like those, you know, they're good for the fish, but really just go with a vegetarian food for the moment. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take a little bowl, you're gonna put the fish food inside, you're gonna add some garlic guard. Okay, this it boosts their immune, it cleans their insides, it's really good. It's like an antibiotic for humans also, the garlic is. So you're gonna soak it for 10 minutes, their fish food, inside the bowl. Make sure you don't use water from the tap, use it from the aquarium, because you don't want to put chlorine inside your food. Yeah, so you put 1 capful of that, you put the amount of food you put in there, usually a little bit less, okay? Don't start with a bunch of food, just give them some of that and some of that, and wait about 10 minutes for the food to absorb it. I usually add a little bit more of the Epsom salt in there, you know, as a natural laxative, of course, and they will devour it. I assure you they will. Those that don't eat it right away, yeah, stay mellow on the food for the next couple of days. If you see some don't eat, maybe then it's time to isolate them and redo the treatment on them, okay? But by the end of these cures, they should all be all right. So is there anything else in my notes? I think we covered it. I mean, if you have any more questions, please feel free to ask. It's my first episode with the Malawi Bloat. Never happened to me ever in those 2 years I had it. I mean, I don't know, we just overfed them. We love them too much. What can I say? So I hope I helped you out, guys. Ask me any questions you like, and Happy New Year, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.